My student made a super creepy comment. My husband thinks I'm being paranoid.
This video is sponsored by Simply Safe. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Okay, got a couple tales to share with you today. I've read both of these already, actually. I just still wanted to share them with you all because I found them to be very fascinating. Neither one of them are particularly related to each other, I guess, but they did teach me two things. Number one, Reddit commenters can actually be very helpful, and they could even potentially save your life. And then number two, don't ignore the red flags. And yes, little side note, I am wearing a gas station wolf shirt. Thank you for noticing. I'm feeling myself. Thank you. Very dangerous today. My boyfriend has been collecting my rent for a free house.
Oh, good. A charlatan.
I've been living with my boyfriend for a year. I'm a graduate student, so I have a very minimal income, and I'm very upset about this, but my boyfriend says he was trying to do something nice. My boyfriend and I moved in together to a house that he found. He arranged all the landlord stuff and told me to send $1,000 a month to the landlord's bank account. This is a very normal rent for our area, but I could have probably spent less if I lived in an apartment. I have been doing so for the last year, only to find out yesterday from his mom that his parents actually own the house and they aren't charging us rent. Upon hearing this, I asked my boyfriend about the $13,000 that he has had me send to some account, and he told me that he was doing it for me as a gift to give back later so that I could see how much he saved. Yeah, like some, like piggy bank thing. That's something normal that you do to an adult. See, let me teach you this life lesson, honey. Even if that's the truth, weird thing to do. I'm livid. I'm not irresponsible with money. I have no debt, and I even have some savings. Over the last year, there have been things I've had to miss out on because they just weren't financially feasible without this money. There have been some times when I couldn't get my tires replaced or couldn't get a new blazer to replace my threadbare one, so my boyfriend got to swoop in and save the day. It always made me feel so bad that he could live just fine on his salary, not that much higher than mine. Now I know it's because he was spending $1,000 less than I was every month.
It's not a gift. It's a grift.
I don't know what to do. I feel upset and uncomfortable with the whole situation, but my boyfriend won't listen to me. He keeps saying this was supposed to be a surprise gift, and I'm taking it the wrong way. I don't know what to think. Am I overreacting?
No, you're not overreacting, because do you know what you're supposed to do with gifts? Anybody? Give. You're supposed to give to somebody. He held this gift for a whole year, meaning he missed the Christmases, Valentine's Day, your birthday, every Earth Day. He missed every single one of them. He had every opportunity and special event to give this to you, and he didn't. Come on, Scooter's dying. What is he saving it for? The lunar eclipse? Is he gonna pull out his special little glasses and just the sun, the moon, the truth? I've saved all of your money. No.
Before I get into my thoughts, there's a couple updates here from this story that are very, very important. She also posted to this legal advice subreddit asking if she had grounds to sue. And I saw that she had an actual lease from her boyfriend that she signed, but he had removed any language that said anything about paying rent. So, tough situation. There's a couple things she could do. I looked into it too because I was curious if she loves revenge and she wants to, put something out there for for the gals who love background checks. Understandable. Theft by deception might be the best possibility of putting on a criminal offense and putting it on his record, but it requires verifiable proof and a lot of stuff, and just a lot of lawyer fees would stack up. So that would take a lot. But if she just wants her money back, I think this comment nailed it. She has a written lease that shows she's a tenant of the parent and co-tenant with her boyfriend, as opposed to subletting from her BF. She has a text from the mother, her landlord, saying they have not been charging rent and have received no rent. In PA, small claims is $12,000. She says she's paid $13,000 in rent, but that her boyfriend has helped her out financially to the tune of $1,000. Filing fee in PA is going to be less than $100. It seems like a great candidate for small claims court to me. Apparently, she's from PA, because I saw a few people saying she's from PA. Okay, main update. I told my ex-boyfriend, right? 2 weeks later, she was quick with it. I told my ex-boyfriend I was moving out with or without the money, and he told me that if I left him, he could keep the gift for himself. I told him whatever and called his mother and told her I was leaving. She asked why, and I told her the whole story. She asked me to give her a few minutes and then she would get back to me. I heard her call my ex in the other room and could hear her yelling at him through the phone. She called me back and told me to take pictures of the rooms. I sent them to her, and she gave me the all clear over text. She also sent me an apology for my ex's behavior, and I left and thought that was that. A few days later, I got a check in the mail for $15,000 from my ex's mom.
Wow, the apple fell far from the tree. It ran from the tree. It did the Heisman on the tree. Just, I will block your guidance. Your tutelage will not tutel me.
Not exactly justice, because the original money was indeed probably gone, but I walked away feeling pretty good about the whole thing. I love that she yelled at him while they're still on the phone call, and she probably like did the classic, like put the soap bar in his mouth and locked him in the bathroom or whatever for his chewy mouth, which good, good. Should have swapped the soap out for a bag of baby shit. How about that? Make it worse. Stories like this make me terrified, because we don't read these long ass documents. We don't read the terms and conditions. Nobody does. So it just makes it so so easy for people to just write whatever they want and just hide something on like page 10 in the little fine print there. We don't get to page 10. We don't even get to paragraph 2. We all need to be hiring people to read all of this stuff for us. So the holidays are coming up, and that's typically when a lot of folks start breaking into people's homes and start stealing gifts, maybe some cranberry sauce. Maybe they'll take a little, cookie from Santa, or a little ornament, or for a souvenir, which is stressful. It's very stressful. I've told this story on here before, but when I was growing up, we had 2 guys try to break into our house while I was asleep 5 feet away on the couch, and I don't think I slept like a week after that. And that's why I love Simply Safe. My girlfriend and I have used their home security system, and it's great. You can build your own setup with indoor and outdoor cameras, motion sensors, you name it. There's a Simply Safe app where you can watch your cameras in real time and get break-in alerts. The system has Wi-Fi, so you can stay connected through anything. They've got this smoke and CO alarm listener that's actually pretty clever. You don't even have to replace the detectors you already have. You just stick this little thing near them, and then whenever your smoke or CO alarm goes off, it recognizes the exact sound and pattern. And then it sends the alert straight to Simply Safe's monitoring team, as long as you're on the professional monitoring plan. So someone's on it even if you're not home. And if you get their 24/7 LiveGuard protection service, their agents will respond within 5 seconds if someone breaks in, and they'll call 911 for you. And they'll even talk to the intruder in real time to scare them off. So let's all be safer for the holiday season. Save 60% on your Simply Safe home security system when you sign up for the professional monitoring plan and get your first month free. And you can try Simply Safe risk-free. If you don't love it, you can return it and you'll get a full refund within 60 days. Go to simplysafe.com/pointer to customize yours. There's no safe like Simply Safe. Now this one, man, this one just grab onto something and just hang on the whole time. You ever seen that roller coaster ride, the Titan, in Six Flags in Texas? That's what this story is, okay? My student made a super creepy comment. My husband thinks I'm being paranoid. I'm a high school English teacher and have been for a few years. In that time, as a woman, I've been used to teenage boys behaving awkwardly around me sometimes, and pheromones are part of the deal. There have been occasional comments, but generally in the vein of Miss So-and-so has a crush on you, or Miss Would you be so-and-so's Valentine. It's all in good humor in front of the whole class or a large group and is well-meaning. My school throws a January ball for seniors, 16 to 18, which is basically an opportunity to celebrate the start of another calendar year. As it's after hours, not every teacher has to attend, and this year I was asked to chaperone. There is no alcohol permitted, but obviously some of them sneak in hip flasks and so on. During this month's ball, 2 students were huddled at a table in the corner of the hall, not dancing, just keeping to themselves. I know them well as problematic students who have difficulties socially, but also perform poorly academically, so they don't fit in with the popular crowd or the nerdy lot. We have some of these every year, like the poor hygiene, greasy hair, long fingernails, that sort of thing. Immediately, I could tell they had been drinking from the way they spoke and smelled, and asked them to hand over any alcohol that they had. One of the boys, call him Stuart, started protesting. He said the following, and I'm 100% sure this is what he actually said. "Come on, miss, don't pretend you won't open that bottle of Bailey's when you get home, feet up in your dressing gown watching the new TV. Give us a break." Now, as soon as he said this, I felt my heart drop into my stomach and got cold all over. I had just bought a bottle of Bailey's Irish Cream for myself this weekend before the dance. I'm in the habit of nights where I don't have much marking/planning and want to treat myself, of having a bath and watching a movie/series in my dressing gown. My husband bought a new television over Christmas. disgusting. I picture these two as like the kids. You ever seen A Christmas Story with the one with the old school golf hat? Looks like Joe Pesci. And then there's the other red-haired kid with the braces and just ah ha ha. I asked him how he knew those things, and he feigned in ignorance, basically saying it was a lucky guess. I was so shaken that I left them, and a short while later they both left. But that night I could barely sleep, and my paranoia kept growing. I simply cannot believe that he could have guessed all three of those things. One, maybe, but no way all three. My husband is away for work currently. I phoned and told him about it, and he basically downplayed my concerns, saying I probably mentioned those things to my class at various points, and this student had just remembered it.
Okay, even you know that's not true, because if you actually thought that might be a possibility, you would be concerned by the fact that your wife is talking to a bunch of children about how she's drinking liquor in her dressing gown in class. That's a weird thing to do.
But I would never mention those things. I just wouldn't, and I'm sure I haven't. I've become more skittish at home when I hear noises. I only live in a small house, but when I arrive home from buying groceries, I check every single room and cupboard before I lock the doors. I've also arranged to have the locks changed. When cars stop outside the house, I turn all the lights off and peek at them through the blinds. I'm having trouble sleeping. In class, the student is quiet and same as ever, not completing homework assignments, distracted in class. My husband is growing increasingly exasperated and worried for my mental health. Then the possibility this student could somehow know details of my personal life. I mentioned it to my supervisor as well, and she also basically reasoned that I had either misheard what he said, it was a coincidence, or a combination of the two. What's the play here? I'm seriously freaked out, and I don't know how to even begin putting this to rest. Now, when she posted this, a few things happened. Number one, this went very viral because a lot of people were just picking sides, because there's clearly something here. Like, that's three things, yes, that he guessed. Could have been a lucky guess on all three. That's still pretty difficult. But two of them, there's detailed descriptors of them. He could have said, while you were watching TV, but instead he said, your new TV. He could have said, drinking liquor or booze. Instead, he said Bailey's. Those are two very descriptive, on-the-nose things that just adds even more further credibility to her fears that something is going on. Nevertheless, there were a lot of people who were thinking, hey, this could be easily explained this way, this way, this way. There were some people saying that they could have been seen while they were out, her and her husband, and the robe might have been just like a potential, coincidence or something. I don't know. But some said her social media could have been the culprit. Like, she could have posted like a story or something talking about how she had too much Bailey's the night before in her robe, whatever. Another person said she could have been overheard while she was talking to a member of the staff in like the break room or whatever. Basically, a lot of folks were trying to not put too much weight into the whole stalking thing. I assume many of those people, for her sake, seeing how stressed she was, and they were just trying to help. And then some were actually telling her to check the house just in case, and finding different ways for her to check and where to check and how to do it. And that led to this comment. So she was going back and forth with this person, replied back to them and said, how can I do a sweep for cameras? Genuinely want to know. And this person said, open your Bluetooth and see if there are any weird devices. Obviously, if you live in an apartment building, this probably won't work since you'll pick up your neighbor's stuff. They sell devices that look for hidden cameras, but I think it's just something that emits a beam of light that would bounce off of a camera lens. I've never seen one that seems worth buying. Otherwise, I don't have suggestions. That led to her actually trying this and then coming back and replying. There are some devices I don't recognize. In the morning, it's late here, I'll go ask my neighbors to try and rule some out, thank you. That led to a conversation of people telling her how to check certain places in her house and everything like that. And then, so she started doing that. And then some time goes by and she posts an update. 5 days later, she posts this. I wasn't going to post an update here, but the number of worried people who have reached out to me made me reconsider. After a thorough search of my house, I found 2 devices.
Oh, my sister in Christ. Where's your suitcase?
They seem to be camera devices. I don't know if audio is included. One of them was in the smoke detector in my bedroom, while the other was concealed in the wall of my living room. Looking at an old picture of my bedroom, it looks like the smoke detector itself has changed very slightly. I think that the new one is a device in itself, which the culprit somehow switched with the old one without us noticing.
Oh, you've been hoodwinked.
The matter has now been referred to the police. If it wasn't for so many of you taking me seriously and giving me practical advice, I wouldn't have had the courage to check, especially given my husband downplaying the concerns. He has been very apologetic and is coming back back from his work trip early, but I've asked to spend some time apart and will be staying with my parents for a while. I'm glad I raised the issue with the head at my school and a couple of others, as there's a paper trail, another suggestion from the thread. Needless to say, I am completely shaken to my core, and I have the most revolting feeling of my privacy being invaded. I have no idea how many people have been involved in this, but phones have been taken from students and we should have more answers soon. I won't be making any more posts or updates. Thank you again to everyone affirming me and making me feel sane. Okay, theory time. I want to hear you guys' theories and what you guys think. There's going to be a lot of them, I bet, and I'm very curious to know what you guys think. A lot of folks in the comments on this Reddit post are saying the husband was very suspicious, which I definitely agree with, because he refused to believe her the entire time, and then he rushed back home the second that she found cameras. I think she's thinking that too, which is why she wants space from him. She's suspicious. Note, the cameras are in the bedroom and in the living room wall. And a lot of people are saying that the husband could be reselling the images and videos online for him to make money off of this. I don't think that's true, because why would he be selling photos of her in a robe and drinking Baileys and watching, like Friends on her new TV or something? I don't know about that. Here's what I'm thinking. This guy's on the road at work. He's insecure. He's controlling. He's a control freak. So he wants to check in on her, get some cameras, and has no idea that if you've got an older router, older Wi-Fi, something like that, you can be unprotected. It's unprotected Wi-Fi potentially. Very high potential. The story says he's 35 years old. I'm 34. You get to this age, you start forgetting technology, and it starts passing you by a little bit. He might not know that his Wi-Fi is hackable. He might not even know that his camera can connect to Wi-Fi. I barely know that. I've had this camera, I'm recording it right now, for 10 years. Not once have I used the Wi-Fi thing on it, because I don't know how. So anyway, yeah, these kids are local. They probably saw the Wi-Fi pop up on their phone or something. They're like, I wonder, this is a weird Wi-Fi name. I wonder what these folks are up to. They click on it. They're like, oh shit, this is Mrs. Taylor. Jesus Christ. And then they drink some more. Ooh, Mrs. Taylor. And at the ball, they get to drinking some more. This kid gets a little too brave. He's like, hey, watch this. I'm going to freak Mrs. Taylor out right now. And he's like, rub, Bailey's, old TV. And then she tells her husband, she panics, yeah. Regardless, the police have to get involved, because it's very possible this kid still actually did get into their house and do all of this. You can never be too sure. Kids are very capable of doing stuff like this at this age. Kids are creeps at this age. They're all jacked up on these hormones. These hormones are just, they're on fire inside. Teenage boys, dangerous. Like when I was 15, we had a kid in my class who, he was like this real nerdy kid, real dorky nerdy, which is fine. I was too. But he had like an evil laugh. He was just annoying and mean to people for some reason. And he would always walk like a crab to class, and then he would pop his pimples and eat them. He was just a great kid. Anyway, he somehow climbed into the vents in the ceiling, like he's in Shawshank Redemption, and crawled all the way over into the girls' locker room and started taking photos and videos of the girls changing in the locker room. And then the principal didn't believe the girls, so this kid did it again, and then the principal finally did something about it, got caught, and then he got expelled. At that age, they just do that, and it's gross. All right, moving on. I'm now about to read a Reddit story where a husband leaves a 9-month-old and a 5-year-old home alone by themselves, and his reasoning for doing it is not what you think. So click the little box in the top left-hand corner and keep on watching, and I will see you over there. All right, that's my time. Toodles.